right? So we don't know whether she's well or not. I mean, the Twitter account would certainly suggest she's having some difficulties. Have to point out, you know, President Trump is upset about the double standard in the media, and, you know, this isn't about him, but you know how he makes everything about him, and so do his critics? But I do have to say, yesterday on TBS, Samantha Bee was going after Ivanka Trump, and the criticism that she made of Ivanka on her father's policies when it comes to separating children from their undocumented parents, fine, totally fair game. But she called Ivanka Trump a feckless C word. And to me, it was so jarring. It was so jarring, and to me, to me, hate is hate. And I think she should be condemned for it, too. It's not to word police. It's just hate is hate is hate.
You talked about that yesterday.
Just yesterday, we're talking about how Bill Maher uses this word about women. Yeah. And it's no better when a woman uses it about a woman.
Fair enough. I mean, of course, it's never constructive to call anybody the C word or any word that's in the ballpark of that type of language.
But will there be any backlash against her?
Look, she's a comedian, and she said it on her show.
So's Roseanne.
Right, but she didn't say it. She didn't say in the I mean, she.
Do you think it's better to stay on Twitter than on your show? Well, like on your show, it seems worse.
Roseanne was not in the forum where she was presenting it as a joke. In retrospect, she goes back and says, "Actually, you know what? I was joking about it."
But she says she was joking. I realize it doesn't sound like a joke, but she says she was joking.
After the fact.
But is it okay to call a woman a C word if you say it's a joke?
No, and I actually don't think that we need to compare the two because, again, Roseanne went out and said this not in the context of making a joke. She went out and said it in the context of being an outspoken person on Twitter.
I think you're splitting hairs.
Well, beyond this,
they're both wrong.
Beyond
period.
This, I do feel like
I'm not saying they're not both wrong.
I do feel like we have created this culture in our country right now where just name calling in general is just you know, everyone's calling someone out, whether it's on Twitter or like we've just created this culture of ugh.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
And how do you rip on Trump for all of his sexist comments, which, you know, somebody raised at a debate a couple of years ago, and then just let it slide in a very, it's not like TBS is normal television, you know, like yesterday somebody's making the point it's HBO, right? But with Bill Maher, this is TBS. I just feel like to me, it was so jarring, and Samantha Bee undermined her own position because she could have made a valid criticism of Ivanka.
Without using the word.
Completely, and we would have been talking about the criticism as opposed to her language.
I think that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. It's a horrible word, and when you call somebody it, you know, I don't know if you need to face the consequences of getting your show fired, but you should hear the backlash from Megyn Kelly.
So I agree with that. I feel like we're so quick to, like, boycott, and I mean, Roseanne's comment was in its own special league. There's
yes, but
no
it wasn't
question.
just, we're talking